Hi, this is Tim Wegman with BIS Commodities. Taking a look at this week in review, this being the week of the 19th of August, the 16th of August. Let's take a look at beef corn down 39 cents on the week at 371 at the September contract. Looks like September beans are down just shy of 12 cents at 867 on the settlement. Wheat 21 cents in the contract at 503 and a tick. Livestock markets, cattle down, big this week, down around that 25,860 area. The dollar is going to be up around 73 points, 98.05. Taking a look at the corn and soybean markets, the big news item of the week was the monthly supply and demand report. A lot of information coming out. The question was what we're going to see in revision of acres, and obviously we're going to make some demand adjustments and yield adjustments as well. So a lot of information being thrown at us, and obviously it was quite a surprise on the corn on the acre adjustment, which came in a little bit less than last month's, down 1.6 million acres, which was more than what the average trade had guessed. But taking a look at total acres, you can see with 11 million prevent planting acres, we had planned on planting over 100 million acres of corn. We did see a reduction in bean plantings as well. That was down about 3 million acres, a little over 3 million acres. That was opposite of the ideas that we would see about a 1 million acre increase in there. Running the numbers, you can take a look at them, make them work. The FSA data has come out at 85.5 million acres. That wheel takes a while to turn. We won't get the final results from them. Historically, the FSA data is 2 to 3 million acres, roughly less than what the NASS report is. So in months to come, could we see a small revision in acres? It's very possible, and I'm sure some will be looking for that. But I think the bigger curveball coming out of the trade was the average bushels per acre yield guess. And when we've seen the WASDE increase yield estimates to just shy of 170 bushels per acre. And that was the curveball nobody's seen coming. That gave us a production number of 13.9 billion bushels. That's actually up from last month's 13.875 billion bushels. Suddenly our carryout was no longer a concern, or our supply situation is no longer a concern with corn after the report. So taking everything into account, we've seen the limit move down on Monday following the report. Some follow through and a gap lower in the December contract. On to Tuesday, went down and tested contract lows this week, and we did close up 9 cents on the week. That's certainly a down week. What I think we're going to have to take a look at as far as corn is concerned in weeks, if not months to come, is we're probably setting ourselves up for a trading range here. $4 on the top side might be a tough nut to crack, whereas hopefully we can hold the bottoms in here at this 370, making the assumption we're not going to see any new information come out. Next week we will see the the Pro Farmer Crop Tour, and it'll be interesting to see the results coming out of that as far as yield estimations with the immaturity of a lot of the crop out there. So we'll see some things on social media. That'll be the driver next week for the most part. We'll keep an eye on exports as well to see if we're getting to areas we are able to compete in the world market as far as exports. End users margin should have increased here over the last 30 days, specifically this week. So maybe help on the demand side as well. But Keep an eye on the Pro Farmer Tour next year or next week with corn, and also keep an eye on the weather forecast. We are seeing some dry areas in eastern Iowa, northern Illinois continue to need some areas of rain. And when I take a look at the soybean balance sheet, everything is as far as what to look for. We're looking for the same things. The one thing about the soybean balance sheet is even though the numbers came in better than expected with a lower carryout number, it's still projected to be the second largest carryout on record. So we still have a large burdensome supply of soybeans moving forward. But we'll continue to monitor yield as we got a late crop. Half the soybeans were planted the month of June. It will be interesting to see how the yield pans out. So we'll continue to monitor weather there as well. Taking a look at the livestock markets. Rough day, a rough week for cattle. We've seen a limit down move on Monday, followed by another extended limit move down on Tuesday. Synthetically, the cattle sold off hard, and the primary reason for this was due to a fire at a packing plant, one of the larger packing plants in Kansas, projected that they kill 35,000 a week. The concerns would we continue to be able to move enough cattle was the concern. We did see cash trade for the most part week or two on the week. Looks like 105 is going to catch a lot of the cash trade out there. And the other interesting thing is we did see boxes explode higher, up sharply higher this week. The choice looks like it's going to close above 238, select above 216. So the packers are making some good margins in here. Interesting enough, the estimated kill for this week looks to be around 651,000. And if that is correct, that's going to be 9,000 over last week. So that's going to make for a very interesting Monday morning open. So I think that's what we need to keep an eye on and see if we can continue to kill or be able to replace that capacity, and we'll see more of that come to light next week. Taking a look at the hog futures, ugly close on the week, limit down. Cash was down this week $1 from the national perspective. It looks like the cutout, which was at yearly highs last week, is going to be down a little over $4 this week as well. Still inside a trading range from the Monday of August the 5th. Had a wide range, an $8.50 move that day. We've traded inside that range every day since then. We closed down near the bottom end of that trade today. So we're going to be looking at the bottom end there, hopefully to hold some support at the beginning of the week, but we'll continue to monitor the cash trade, continue to keep an eye on China's imports as far as pork, as we did see some decent export sales this week, and China was in buying a chunk of pork again, so that's something we'll monitor. So if you have any questions about these or any other markets, please feel free to give us a call here at BIS Commodities at 1-800-373-2525, or check us out on the web at biscommodities.com.